Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm your host, A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. Appreciate you guys for being here. You do some kind of little funky. I don't know what's going on. All right, so greetings, Mama Corey. Thank you for being here. Lisa's in the building. Blessings. Thank you for always sharing. And she is saying good morning to Mama Corey as well. So appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Today, we're going to have a great conversation about the uncomfortable or tough conversation about politics. And just something I was listening to earlier. I was like, yeah, I think we should have that conversation. And I think we're going to go into some really tough conversation. This is just the beginning because we need to have a lot of these conversations because we need to move forward. We need to really attack some of the central issues that are happening in our community that we're not really talking about and keeping it 100. Some are talking about it, but it's always like one-sided. So we're going to really dig into that. I'm excited about the shift, the changes, and all that, and then some. Let me see. Let me make sure I sent it out yesterday. I dropped the bizzle. Let's see. All right. So we're good. All right. So what I need you to do is to share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you let everybody know that the Brothers of Legacy are in the building. All right, awesome. So, like I said today, the question is: can we have the tough political conversations? And of course, as always, I have a backstory story time with AD. We're gonna talk about that. Make sure you are a part of our text community, as well as if you are wherever you may be. Let's see. Let me write this in real quick, and we're gonna. How did I put it? All right, so we just opened up our Discord community. Daggone pastor. So we're gonna join our Discord community. We'll probably talk about that one day. That name. Let's see. Hey, good morning, Keita. Good morning, Keita. Like again, make sure you are part of that community. That's where some of the before conversation, after conversation, and a lot of what's happening with the Brothers of Legacy, you'll be able to see in real time going down. So again, I appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. We're going to go ahead and kick it off. It is now 10 after. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Brethren.
Hey, there you go. My computer's moving.
Man.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, indeed.
Happy
Happy Wednesday. I think I'm asking.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Morning. All right. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Pastor McCory, Mr. Mac, other known as Kaneen Curvey, in the building. Appreciate you guys for being here. Again, make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Share that text that you receive. If you're not part of the text community, make sure you do so. Join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. And thank you, Diggle Mama Corey, again. Oh, she shares in Facebook land. I appreciate you for representing in the YouTube space. So she pops in on two spaces. There we go. Hopefully I will see you in the Discord space. I know, Mama Corey. Yet another app. I know. Just bear with us.
We want to come together collectively on a platform called Discord. We want to come together on Discord.
Yes, indeed.
Not Accord, Discord.
Yes, indeed. Let's make that happen.
Who makes a platform called Discord for people to
I looked for the history.
Collaborate?
I couldn't find a reasoning for the name. They had some other names, but it came up with that one. All right. So today, all right, let's see. Today we're talking about, can we have the tough political conversations? I came up with this because I was scrolling and YouTube said, you know what? This is what you need to see today. and it was Steve Harvey was doing I guess like it was like a mega sci-fi yearly or annual luncheon, whatever they may call it, whatever it was Omega Sci-Fi something. And as you know, he's a part of that organization. And it was from 2017. And so he began to talk about his meeting with Donald Trump, right? So first off, he was like, he went off, he said, "Ooh, you my people." He said, "Not the white folks, you guys." He said, "All I've been doing in this community," he said, "I've been black, my whole career," like he was just, and so he had a meeting with, he said what happened was him and Obama, in the administration, he's good friends, like the regular Hollywoodish celebrity connected friends. They know each other. He can probably call them or whatever at the time. And the administration had said, we're in a transition, and the Obama team suggested that he meet with Donald Trump, and I guess put him on the list to be there with Donald Trump. So he comes in. He said initially Donald Trump thought he was there because Mark Bonet, if you never heard the name, he's an executive producer. He produced what's Trump's thing, The Apprentice, and of course one of Steve Harvey shows, Big Time with Steve Harvey. So they have a mutual friend. So Trump thought he was originally there to discuss entertainment business, but he told him, I'm here because I'm connected with Obama, blah, blah, blah. And he says, Trump asks him, what do you want? Like, what would you want to see, happen? And he was just telling them about a vision center, pretty much the camp that he does every year. He wants to take that concept and be able to be all over the country in different cities. And he says he would like to partner up with the guy over HUD. What's his name? The Dr.
Carson.
Yes, when Dr. Carson was over it. Yeah, he said partner with HUD and deal with any abandoned buildings, get government funding, and pretty much just have a vision center sponsored by the government. You know what I'm saying? So take that idea, blow it up all over the country, help communities. That was his idea. And so he said Trump got on the phone with Carson, right there, and they began to talk. And he's had subsequent meetings. Of course, fast forward, because you know me, I'm like, cool, vision centers, what's going down? Oh, I guess that's to me. Hey, sweetie Bob, good morning. All right. Good morning, Cheryl. You're going into the fire. So they had subsequent meetings. I looked it up. I haven't seen. I heard there was developed, but I have not, because I was looking like for the Vision Center website, something like, oh, hey, look, this is what we did last year. So we do it, because remember, Vincent 2017, even in construction, even if they rebuilt, because he's gonna take money, remodel. It take maybe a year, some red tape, maybe 2 years, and I've not really seen anything. Now, that was just Steve Harvey saying, listen, this is how the meeting went. And he told him, I didn't vote for you. Like, I'm not here necessarily for you. I'm kind of here to represent and to dish out ideas. Like who, and it's true. Like most people, who wouldn't want to meet with the president of the United States, regardless of who it is? I get it. To me, I know it's like, do I want to be made a political puppet, like coming in, meeting with this dude or whatever? But he did that. So what he says in the end, he said, what was supposed to happen was I was going down first. Then, of course, he was going to come down later. He said, what happened? I'm going down. He jumps in the elevator with me. And we going down together, because he was going to go talk to the press. So he goes over to talk to the press. He says, Trump roll up next to him. And he says, the first thing out of his mouth is, we're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. Well, next to him. And he was like, my face was like, like, that's not the conversation we had upstairs. And so I say all that to say, let me out. I'm stuck in your pocket. First, do that. Let him out because he's stuck in a pocket. And then, is it? And I get it. I know there's people that do political things and political moments. and I probably ruined my argument by the second part of that conversation. But is it possible to maybe not agree with somebody, but be willing to, you know, how you had a space where you're going, but then you're like, you change your mind mid thought. You know, like, you know, you want to hit the remind, you know, let's take back what I just said.
Is it possible to agree with? Is it possible to disagree with their placement, their positioning?
Yeah,
but work with them to accomplish a goal.
I think that's the main thing. And like I said, I didn't see the vision center, but I think is it possible? You know, and I feel
didn't
like
see the vision center.
I didn't. That's the only thing.
Right. You didn't see the manifestation of the meeting that he had with Donald Trump.
I've seen a lot of conversations, seen a lot of articles, but each one was dated that 2017. You know, like even, you know, so if anybody knows or has seen it and could be like, yeah, man, you should go to this site. I'm with it. Show me YouTube. Show me something. I'm wide open.
If Steve Harvey were successful in launching a program, a strategic program for vision centers across the country, or even starting in some place, and it's because Donald Trump was able to endorse something and support him working with Ben Carson,
right?
I'd like to think we know it.
Right. Yeah. Like it would be plastered. Like, I mean, if I would, because
at a minimum,
the second term,
at a minimum, Ben Carson is going to want people to know he did something.
That, yeah. That's true. That's true.
But this is no different than some of the things that Steve Harvey's been doing for 20 years.
Right.
Working with young children, with boys, his boys camp and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's been doing that stuff for years.
Exactly.
And maybe a lot of people don't know it, but the reality is, thank you, Samantha, for stealing my thunder. Donald Trump said to Steve Harvey when he showed up in that office, he said, I need you to go get with Stranger.
Right. Yeah.
And y'all make this happen.
Yeah.
I need you to go get with Lady Eloise.
Yeah.
Y'all make this happen. In other words, I need you to go get with the face.
Right.
Not with the actioner.
Yeah.
The face.
Yeah.
Because I ain't giving y'all nothing.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm going to get down here and get this picture and standing next to you, telling everybody we're going to repeal. I mean, honestly, I remember all that like it was yesterday.
Right.
The look on Steve Harvey's face.
Yeah.
But I walked away from that whole scene like you met with the devil. I'm not trying to call Donald Trump the devil.
Yeah.
But that whole scene, that wasn't that was a trick of the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next.
He says Trump all smoke and mirrors. Indeed.
No, he's not smoking mirrors.
Indeed.
Trump did what he set out to do.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I think he said right. What did he think? I don't know. Sometimes do you feel like if someone has in a place of power, would you not?
You got to
an
try
opportunity. Huh? Yeah, right. Yes,
because your community is.
So that's like
you are one of the voices of our community. You've got to go get in. You have the ability to get indoors that we can't get into. Right. You need to get in there and say something. I can't knock Steve Harvey for setting the appointment. You know what I'm for getting in there. I can't.
Exactly.
There's no way. You got to get in there. Just like I ain't gonna be mad at Ice Cube.
Right.
You know. I'm not gonna be mad at these brothers for trying to make something happen, trying to make sense of this. I can't 100%. Be mad. They want something better.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I don't know. Look, in my life, you've had to kiss a frog.
Right. Let's see. Oh, right. Right. Someone has to try, but be prepared for the outcome. Indeed. Because I'm gonna look up any follow-ups that he said, because I know he's been probably trying to do meetings or have his assistant connect with this person and that person, because I know it's like, what's the next step? Okay, so what's the next step? What do I have to fill out? What do I have to pay? What license do I need to get? and things of that nature. I mean, he's like I said, he's had the camp, so he has probably at least the basics of setting up an operation. He just needs space and the approval to operate in that space. Because as he was saying, his limitation was he can only do one city at a time per year, and he's like, how can we make this happen in a whole host of cities at one time? Good morning, Deborah. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, but you got to remember also that, that vision center, that's not who Steve Harvey is. Steve Harvey is an entertainer.
Right.
This is something he's trying to do to give back.
Yeah.
This is legacy building.
Yeah.
So how much time is Steve Harvey putting into this fight?
Right.
Versus how much time he's putting into what he can afford to do on his own. Because he's been doing a lot over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
So my question is, how much time and resource do you have in pushing this agenda? Because you can't just show up at the president's doorstep and say, hey, I'd love to be able to have you endorse this effort, and then we can build a team. Somebody has to champion that effort.
Yeah.
And without proper funding, it's hard to find champions because it takes time and people need to get paid for their time.
Right. He said, the camp is like,
so you're right, because that's what he can afford to pour money and time into. He can do it once a year. You're really trying to do something that once a year should be like a CYA or a YMCA or something like that that's run every day. But that's not where he is. He's saying, I want to be able to give something back.
Right.
But I'm still going to be on the radio. I'm still going to be on Family Feud. I'm still,
hosting this and hosting that. And out there. Right.
Yeah. That's something that I do, but that ain't all I do.
Right.
Entertainment, that's all I do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. But so like, is it possible to change the mindsets of those that you feel are opposite of where you stand? Do you feel like outside of the Donald Trumps, those that are opposed or different to some of the ideas that you have, do you feel like there can be a shifting? Can there be a change in conversation, with a lot of opposing? Or how do you feel?
The Donald Trump that you know today, Kaneem,
right,
is that different than the Donald Trump that you heard about 20 years ago?
Oh no, it's more intense. Same dude, same character.
Okay,
yeah.
So, does a tiger change his stripes?
No. Donald Trump been this way for over 40 years, man. You just went back 20 years. He been this way. I mean, ever since the
Central Park 5.
Yeah. He been this way, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't never, it's documented. He ain't never like people of color. And I ain't just gonna say black folks.
Right.
He ain't never like people of color, man.
And that goes back to my earlier statement, man. I can give you information, but if you dislike me or you hate me because of the color of my skin, there's nothing I can do with that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this then. If that is the case, right? Oh, Lord, that sounds like I'm defending the student. But if that is the case,
don't do it.
I'm going there. If that is the case, right?
There you go.
This is the conversation. Can we have the tough political conversation? If that is the case,
about to make it tough.
Wow. Because he got, and I know there's what they call them, the tokens. You got Ben Carson, right? And then you had, what's the other chick that was in the house with him?
Omarosa.
Yeah.
Coffee.
And wasn't it somebody else? There was one other figure.
That was a Hispanic guy. I forgot what his name.
Right.
I think he was a secretary of agriculture, I think.
Something like that. Let me look it up real fast. But yes. So I mean, so if that's the case, is it really the color of the skin? Because sometimes
come on.
I don't we talk you've mentioned, listen, hear me out.
Yes, sir.
Out. This is the tough political conversation. Hear me out. Pastor, you mentioned classisms, like not necessarily it'll be we are going through not a race warfare, but a class warfare, you know, where there are segregated parts because of class. I mean, I see that happening.
Remember, I'm saying I believe that's where we'll end up.
Yeah, that's where we'll end up.
That doesn't mean we won't go through civil unrest based on race prior to. I think that a race war highlights or will end up in a class war.
Right.
That's just my belief.
Okay. Let me get some of these comments. Sam says politicians are nice and all, but why don't these entertainers collaborate? I feel like they would have a larger global impact versus this one doing this over here and that one doing the same thing over there. Yes, indeed. I agree. Simply, there is no trust. Lies have been unleashed. They are manifested through others doing what I want. That is all. Sam also says, a tiger doesn't change his stripes, but a man can change. I just want to hold my breath for that. She said, nothing figures of disguise, aka manipulation. The fact that you can pinpoint all the people of color in this camp says it all.
Right. That's why you're not holding your breath.
Them was already. Oh, them wars already happened. Okay.
Yeah, but come on, man. Don't you know anything about rap? There's levels to this.
We are definitely on the lowest level.
All right, let me ask you this.
And I believe. Listen. I'm a man of faith.
Right.
I believe in the power of change. I believe in the power of another chance.
Right.
I believe in being not conformed to this world, but being ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, is what the Bible says. Right. I believe in all of that. But you have to want that change. And what I'm saying is, I have not seen enough of an example of certain people wanting to change. I see people fighting to remain who they are.
Right. Okay.
That's what I see.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If
He
you
still
look at-
think
if you go back-
he won the election.
Yeah, if you go back to January 6th, the insurrection, when he had that speech, now he spoke up there for about a good 15 to 20 minutes about going to the Capitol and actually hanging the vice president of the United States up and killing him. He campaigning for killing the second in command. He was talking about all the other Nancy Pelosi. He's talking about going to do all this stuff to all these other politicians and then said it wasn't him. It's on video. The folks, when you said you was gonna march down there and join them, what kind of mess is that? You know what I'm saying? They went down there because they thought you was on your way. They ain't go down there. They ain't go down there because they just were like, I'm meet me down. That's what he said. Meet me down at the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, what? Why? And when they got down there, it was like, okay, we finna cause a riot, and that's what they did. They went down there. They caused a riot. They went in there. I mean, like, how many black folks was in that crowd? 20, 30?
Please understand, to Kaneem's point. Do you think that crowd showed up because of what we heard publicly? That crowd showed up because of the private conversations, the conversations we don't hear. And if it's this bad publicly, what do you think it sounds like privately?
Yeah, you could bet he talked to each one of them leaders on the phone. Like the president of the United States reached out to some white supremacist leaders and actually had a conversation with them. I ain't got no records.
People were told not to worry about going to jail. People were told, we got your back. We even got the military behind us. Watch me with this photo op and I'll have generals standing next to me. You're going to clearly see we can go act a fool and there's not anything anybody can do about it. Now, that's what I'm saying. And so my point is, you all know about, and I'm saying, I don't care what side of the aisle you come from. a hot mic is a hot mic, and a hot mic tells a whole lot about what you do behind the scenes.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
And we've seen mistakes being made on both sides with hot mics.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's real talk, which tells me that your public face is not your private face.
Right. Right.
I take pride. I get in trouble, but I take pride as a pastor being who I am publicly, keeping that consistent with who I am privately. You understand? Kaneem said, man, I gotta watch my language while I'm on here. You know, I
do.
I gotta be careful what comes out of my mouth because I can't say what I, you know.
Yeah, I do.
And but that's out of respect for the platform. But
Yes,
you make it clear that if this camera wasn't on, this might sound a little different. Right. Right. And I'm saying I can't do anything but respect that because you're not hiding. What you're saying is I respect this platform. I respect my brothers. I respect the people that are listening too much because I don't want to, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
Unintentionally.
Right.
I don't cuss in my house. Right.
Same.
I don't blaspheme. I don't, you know, like what you hear me say on here. If you were sitting in my backyard chatting it up with me, that's what you would hear me say.
Right.
Right. And if it were different, I hope I would have the courage and the confidence and the character to talk like Kaneem talks and says, if there's something else I really want to say. I believe I have the ability to do that. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is we're dealing with people that are going to show you one thing publicly and they're going to live something else privately.
Right.
Period.
I mean, yeah.
How do you combat that?
If it was different, I'm telling you, if it was different, I'm telling everybody.
I know. No, you wouldn't tell nobody. You just wouldn't be connected to me.
Yeah.
That's it. It'd be that simple.
Yeah. But but like you just said, right? There are certain things.
AD, I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother, but we talking about politics and hard conversations, right? Yeah. Let's talk about a black man right here in Georgia named Herschel Walker.
Woo.
What is going? What is going on with the message that Herschel Walker is trying to relay to the citizens of Georgia? I want you to go ahead and profess on that, AD. This is your platform. Go ahead, sir.
Have you seen it, AD?
All of his talking? Yeah. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah. Okay. So
don't do that. Don't do that. He used to be my cousin back when he was the Heisman Trophy. Oh yeah, that's my man. When he was I'm gonna sound like what's her name? What's that commentator that told LeBron shut up and dribble? Negro, shut up, just run. You shut up and run.
Laura Ingram.
Shut up and run. But man, yeah. Listen, I don't even know how he made it through. How they even voted for him? Like I don't get it.
You don't get it?
I don't get it. Like he's dumb though. Like
he played for Georgia.
Yeah.
He lives in Georgia.
Yeah,
he's famous. And he is a black man touting being a Republican. That's how.
But then, is it race or is it just agenda? Is it race or is it agenda?
It can't be race if he's black.
Right.
So it has to be agenda.
Right.
So he has an agenda. It can't be race with any black person.
Right.
It's got to be agenda.
Right.
Is it though?
Yeah, because you can say that you hate your. There are people who don't like the color of their own skin.
Could that be Herschel?
Or Candace Owen?
Or Ben Carson?
Or Officer Tatum?
I can't speak for those individuals on the sense of pride. when it comes to the color of their
Is it
skin.
race or agenda?
Could it be?
And then what's the agenda?
What's the agenda?
What's the agenda?
What's Herschel's agenda besides political office?
It is race. Okay, Sam says it is race, though. Look like these folks that look like I'm right.
You mean it? Listen, I'm gonna.
If you look,
let me say this.
I don't know if y'all
Everybody said
saw
toast
when
together.
Herschel Walker had the acceptance for his nomination as a Republican nominee for governor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or no, senator. I'm sorry,
Senator. Yeah, that's fine.
a senator. But literally, it was out now. Anybody in the comments, please correct me. I saw 2 people of color in the room,
Okay.
and that was Herschel Walker and the reporter that was talking about Herschel Walker. That was the only 2 people of color that I saw in the room. Now, this is just in camera view, so I can't say I wasn't in the room.
All right.
I'm just saying in camera view. And to me, that states that there are not enough minorities backing Herschel, but there are plenty of the white citizens that think that he is definitely a token that can go against Raphael Warnock. We don't like the current Negro. We want our own Negro. And
Is
this
that agenda or is that race, though?
I think it's I think it's right.
Oh, listen. Yeah, well, tell us how you feel, brother. Tell us why you're mad.
Yeah, I think it's right. I think Herschel Walker. I don't know his history, but I've never seen or heard. But somebody in the comments or somebody do the research. I don't never see Herschel Walker's name promoted with any type of minority events that's helping the community. And but I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I believe that there are. I believe there are cases like that. I want to believe that. There's no way that there's not. But I also believe that you look at the face of opportunity, right? When it presents itself before you.
Right.
You're sitting at a dinner table with people that you normally have dinner with. And they say, you have the name recognition, you have the history in the state. We believe you can do this. And the truth is, it's not about being a Republican when it starts.
Right.
It's about the community that you hang around with. You got to remember that Herschel Walker is famous in Georgia, played for Georgia, UGA.
Right.
So he made a lot of friends.
Right. Since the 80s. Right.
And the circles that he runs in Georgia, those are typically not the people that is going to be at our house for Sunday dinner.
Right.
So it's his community, it's his ecosystem that has pushed him. And if they're gonna push you, you got to pick up the banner that they fly, the flag they fly.
Yeah.
You know that, cuz.
Right.
Right.
Right. Keita said, did you see the clip where he said, in that quote, I have the solution in my house to cure you from COVID?
Come on, Keita.
I have it at my house too.
But I'll let you bring it up, Keita. Thank you.
I have this. I have the same cure.
What's that?
At my house. I have the same cure.
Come on now.
What's the cure? What's the cure? Come on now, Pastor. Come on through. What's the cure, Pastor?
If you're sick, you're not coming in.
That's the cure.
But if I'm not mistaken, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I like to be corrected. But they called for Herschel to move back to Georgia to run the Senate.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah, but
not
I'm
like-
saying,
Against
but like I
Warnock, right?
said,
That would, I mean, makes sense. That makes sense.
but we're
That
in a
makes sense.
season where, because we've had so much racial tension, we have to find somebody that looks a certain way,
Right. Right.
but will do what that will push our agenda.
I hear
That's
you.
why Candace Owens made it. That's why Candace Owens got hired at Fox News,
Oh yeah.
because you have somebody black that's pushing an agenda that's consistent with their strategy.
And who is there?
The people that are pushing this
good
conservative
question,
strategy.
And what are they?
The people that are pushing the fact that BLM is a terrorist organization.
And
I
what
mean that.
ethnic
Well,
group do
that
they represent?
they range in color. That's saying that as well. They range in color. Then with all this extra information coming out,
That's what I'm saying. So it's important that I bring the people up front who are saying what I'm saying,
right?
but don't look like me,
Right.
because that
Oh.
sends a message that I've been validated even by one of your own.
So let me
So
let me
it is
let me
race.
put it in.
It
Let me
is
put it in this
race.
terms though.
Listen, it's race for the system. I mean, if we say that America is broken as it relates to race relations, that the system, we have a systemic racial problem in America. So anyone that supports a broken system
Indeed.
is pushing a foul agenda. So if I want to continue pushing this foul agenda, I've got to have someone from the affected side to support my narrative.
Right.
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 It's his. Go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, and I agree with Sam said, and I'm gonna throw a point on it. He said, I ain't even mad about him being a black Republican. I'm more angry with him being a dummy that can't even articulate a
But
thought.
that's the thing. Like that's the part that's, to me, that's what makes it agenda.
I got you. I got what you're saying.
Right.
I mean,
because this it can't be about being black, and the fact that, you know, I don't know how smart he is. I don't know how intellectual he is. I don't know. I only know what I've heard.
It don't never come out.
And based on what I've heard, you haven't made, you have not presented a well-articulated statement yet. Outside of knowing your name.
Right.
And so if I'm interacting with you,
right.
If Kaneem and I are having a conversation, and I'm hustling, and I want to hustle Kaneem, I'm looking for signs that tell me, oh, I can get him.
I got you.
Right?
Right.
What would be the difference? I go into meetings. We negotiate all day, every day. In my career, we do. Everybody here negotiates.
Yeah.
And why is the negotiation necessary? Because everybody wants something.
Right.
And I'm going to use everything in my power to make sure I come out on the winning side. I want all of us to win. I just want to win first.
Right.
Right. So if you and I are coming in and we're trying to get something and I feel like I can manipulate you, I'm going to do just that. If I can get you to do my bidding, if my character is flawed to the point to where I want to leverage you to do my bidding and then toss you aside because Herschel Walker won't win here. There's no real long-term benefit for him. He's a puppet. He's being used. He's being manipulated. It's really just that simple. And anybody who thinks otherwise is being manipulated.
I mean, it's an agenda. It's an agenda.
It is an agenda.
It's an agenda.
We'll put money behind you. Just say this.
Yeah, just let this be your talking point. Right.
We'll give you. Don't even worry about it. We'll give you what to say. The problem is when you haven't been prepared.
Right.
That's when people learn the truth about you.
Right. He said, I just said Warnock is a very smart man. I used to go to his church. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a smart man. But again, if he was real smart, he'd have kept preaching and got out and stayed out of politics.
Right.
Now that's my these are not the views of Brothers of Legacy.
Yeah.
These are the personal views of Brian McCrory.
Yeah.
Yes, Cheryl, by any means necessary.
I mean, honestly, because I was looking, I'm telling y'all, I'm just telling y'all straight up. I was looking at the numbers, right? And if you took everybody who voted in the partisan elections and voted for Warnock, everybody that voted for Warnock, and then everybody that voted for Walker, Walker would win based on numbers that I just seen. Now, some people don't come out for primaries. I'm being honest. Go check the numbers. Like as far as
you're right. No, I listen.
Oh.
No, the look on my face is because I'm like, yeah, we're in Georgia.
Right. And if you don't know, I call and I was talking to Dr. Ross about that. We're in the fake blue state. We went blue, but we ain't blue. We ain't
blue
really
by a long shot.
No, not at all.
And they didn't see Warnock coming.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And the difference is Warnock really was out there. He wore out some shoes.
Yeah.
He was out there on those streets.
Man, if I got one,
he was out there shaking hands.
One more note.
But he was doing. But Warnock,
stuffed in my mail.
Warnock. I personally believe that that had been a part of his agenda for a long time coming.
Okay.
That's what I believe. That's just personally what I believe.
Gotcha.
He put a lot of work into winning that Senate seat.
Right.
Prior to he was working long before we heard about it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Long before we heard about it.
100%. The way his campaign shifted out. Yeah.
He was ready.
Yeah.
And Georgia wasn't.
Yeah.
That's all that was. And now people's eyes are open.
Right.
So the real and this is the part that I was going to say earlier. This is not a confession. This is just me keeping it real because I don't want to get on here and talk and not keep it real about who I am. I don't serve a Democratic agenda.
Right.
So whoever want to get mad, get mad. I do not serve a Democratic agenda. I serve certain things that the Democratic agenda pushes.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't serve a Republican agenda. However, there are things in that agenda that I support.
Mm-hmm.
I am a capitalist all day long. Leave my money alone. Don't mess with my money. I want to keep my money. Let me tell you what I'm going to give you. That's how I'd like to have it. I'll always give back. See, the socialist part of me is always going to give back. Right. Which is consistent with a lot of us. Right. But I also believe that if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't getting nothing.
Right. I hear you.
I'm saying I think we misunderstand that. Like, to me, that if properly articulated, that could be a conservative narrative.
Right.
Because of so many people that are in need. They can't seem to find jobs.
Right.
But I'm one of those guys. I worked in a cup making factory just to make ends meet. So I'm one of those guys who says you don't have an excuse. So but I give to people all the time. I bless people. I'm benevolent by nature, but I still believe in capitalism. May the best man win.
Right. Then take it all. Take it all. Take it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and that's the issue that we have is like there's no, like, you can say, well, then that makes you an independent. No, because independents don't win elections.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
You got to choose a side ultimately.
Yeah.
And fight for as much as you can. Yeah. And so, I mean, this political machine is crazy because, why can a bill not get passed? Because you try to shove all this other stuff in it.
Right.
Instead of just focusing on, the bill itself.
100%.
Yeah. What the biggest struggle with healthcare reform is all the other stuff they wanted to put in there. They knew by putting that stuff in there, they could get the bill locked up. Right. Anytime you see a bill locked up, it's because all the other stuff
is in.
Why don't you do more work, politicians, and separate these things out individually so that we can get housing reform passed?
Right.
And that's the stuff. That's the political machine. And so you got all these deals being made, all the stuff going on. And at some point, it really ain't race, man. It's really class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Kaneem, how you doing, brother? You good?
Oh yeah, I'm just listening. I'm just listening, bro.
I got you. Any what is your political leanings, if you want to, if you want to share? No pressure, none at all. No pressure to share, none. You don't have to.
Oh man, since in my voting life, I've always voted Democrat.
Okay.
So I've always leaned toward the Democratic Party. Since I've been voting, I like I said, I didn't start voting until probably 2004, 2000, something like that. 2004.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I and there are some things that Republicans bring to Congress and to the Senate that can benefit the majority of America.
Right.
But then they fight other things that should be no-brainers when the Democrats bring it up. So it could go both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I've always been tagged as a Democrat, and I hold my flag up for the Democratic Party as of right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's challenging to me to be a Republican, especially being Black. It's just like there's so many pushback stuff. Like you just like, man.
See, that's the thing, man. That's my issue.
Yeah,
I can't be mad at you for being a Republican as a Black man.
Oh no, not at all. Not that. Not that. I'm not saying that part. Like, well, I mean, maybe a little bit that part, but more or less like sometimes just being able to lean into a Republican agenda, to me personally. I mean, I check out both sides and I don't agree with.
What's the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump? Please, somebody tell me.
One of them ain't grabbing on women crotches when they ain't supposed to.
Really?
I don't know if he innocent.
Joe Biden has a whole history of being touchy-feely.
Yeah,
but
no, the only difference is Donald Trump said I did it.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah, that's a difference. That's a difference.
It is.
You asked what the difference was. That's a difference. If you're bold enough to say it, I don't think Biden is bold enough to say it.
Yeah. We hope
to a hot mic or to a closed
right
mic.
there. Right. She said we hope Biden isn't racist.
Yeah. So go back and talk to some of the folks in the 90s.
One is honest, one is not.
Go back and look at Biden's agenda in the 90s and say that you hope that.
Yeah.
Go back and look at Biden's work in the 90s and his conversation, his narrative in the 90s as it relates to Black people.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's the issue we have.
Right.
We forget our past, and I'm saying in my mind, you're talking about the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much how we vote a lot of times.
If we having a real you said a tough political conversation, that's what you said.
Let's go.
So if we're gonna have a tough political conversation, I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden to save my life. The only reason I cast my vote for Joe Biden because I said I'm anti-Trump.
Yeah. And me and Sam talked about that too.
That's why you did it though. That's why.
Yeah, but that's not
the two evils. But I don't want Biden in office either.
Yeah, that's all. And then
I
feel like we got.
I got you. I'm with you.
There you go. Look at that. Sam said he's been delivered. He don't believe that no more. That way anymore.
Yeah, he about as delivered as the one who made that term famous.
Right, but if you look at all his appointees and everybody that he put in his cabinet and throughout government, at least he made it all diverse. He diversified the cabinet. You know what I'm saying? He made some things. Some offices have never had people of color have somebody sitting there right now, and that's because of Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Or is it because of Barack Obama?
See, but you ain't giving Biden.
Or is it because of Bill Clinton?
But you're not giving Biden his respect
Biden,
he was the vice president under Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
He got them ties. He got them ties to Obama.
Right.
You know,
Biden is president because of Obama.
I'm not arguing that point either.
Listen, all I'm saying is Biden is
Indeed,
not
Lisa.
president because of. Here's the craziest part about it, and I'm probably saying too much, but
let's go.
said
Let's
conversation.
Go. Tough conversations.
I never wanted to see Biden even as a candidate for president.
Wow.
And that's because I remember the 90s.
Right.
I've never been a Hillary Clinton fan.
Right.
Because I remember the 90s.
Right.
I remember how they got there. You know?
Right.
And what I'm saying is you did all that back then.
Right.
Because it was part of an agenda.
It was. That was part of the agenda.
Yeah,
so you're being driven by agenda, not by character.
Nah. Right. 100%. Also, I guess the question is, what's agenda? What's character? what's coming out your face? Is it part of the new agenda or is it part of your character?
Yeah. Would you be doing this if there was not a title connected to it?
Right. I agree. And then yeah.
I've been pastoring for 5 years, but I've been preaching for 20.
Right.
So I was preaching without a title.
Right.
I've been praying with people since I got saved in 91. Right. So I did it without the title.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So all I'm saying is like, and don't get me wrong, we gotta deal with whoever's in office. We have to pick somebody. That's just the fact. But what I'm saying is,
he said, so are we really saying that the 90s until they couldn't have genuinely?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is from the 90s. No, I'm not saying that they couldn't have. What I'm saying is I haven't seen it. I see the same people today that I saw in the 90s. They're just older. Because I learned about you. I learned about you the first opportunity you had to talk about an agenda. And I heard how you referred to my kind of people.
Right.
And I heard how your agenda in the 90s stated that you didn't have a whole lot of, you didn't put a whole lot of value on our lives, on our existence. Because in the 90s, that was the agenda.
Right.
And the reason it was the agenda in the 90s is because there were monies available for a specific type of agenda. And so you followed the agenda.
True.
And character says, at the end of the day, I'm a black man. At the end of the day, I got to look my children in the face. At the end of the day, I got to go look my community in the face. Right? So if I'm going to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, that means I got to be surrounded by wolves.
Right.
Yeah, at the core, yeah, I'm better than I was in the 90s, but at the core of my being, yeah, I'm the same person.
The
core, yeah, I've always loved people. I've always wanted the best for people. But I stopped cussing.
Yeah, see, there you go. I know I ain't the same person in the 90s, man.
But in the 90s, Black lives had value. And I wanted to do things to fix my community in the 90s, and I'm still fighting that same battle today. And it was never about killing folks.
Right.
It was never about giving you 3 chances or I lock you up forever.
Right. Yeah, 3-strike rule.
It was never about this is just who these kind of people are.
Right.
Because that's the mindset of these types of individuals.
Yeah. That was driven by a lot of it was driven by the media of the 90s. When every time you turn on TV, you see the black man get locked up, you see the black man getting shot, you see the black man robbing somebody, they doing drive-bys and stick-ups, kick doors. You see all these stuff from a black man for the media and the public was outcrying, and every politician that was actually in power at that time in the 90s wasn't a lot of them black. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not enough of them in the 90s. That was maybe 5 black folks in Congress and Senate at that time. It's a lot
Just
more.
Like I was concerned about.
Now. So that's
I was concerned about our vice president.
Our what?
Our current vice president. I was concerned about that.
Why would you be concerned about that? That's just a head figure. She don't really just say nothing. She don't go nowhere. It was the same way for Biden.
She has an influence, though. She does have influence. She does have influence. She does have influence.
Oh yeah, she does have it. But does she? But when do the vice president use it?
In the Senate, she breaks ties. She breaks ties in the Senate. Yeah. So when they deadlock,
vice president.
When it's deadlocked, come in. Let's change that.
Yeah.
Let me let that go the way I want it to go.
President. I'm saying, but if she the black woman, I'm saying she ain't out there, over in the media more than the president. You know what I'm saying? She not.
When I say that, when I make that statement, I'm talking about
she's DA.
The history as a prosecutor.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how much time did you spend trying to help and affect change versus just locking people up. And the reality is, locking people up was my job.
Yeah.
It was my job.
Yeah.
It was an agenda.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you go for.
Right. And now you have division in the White House between the president and the vice president.
Over what agenda?
Exactly. Why is the president and vice president not communicating effectively? Why is there a rift between the president and the vice president today?
There's a rift. I'm not aware.
I'm not aware.
Coming up on the Brothers of Legacy.
Educate people.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
I'll say this. Just type relationship between president and vice president.
All right. Everybody typing? It's homework time.
Now that you done made me type, I'm Googling it. I was trying to wait on the answer, but it looked like
the thing is.
No, I can't. Don't put that. Let's see, because that's just history. All right, let's see. So listen, while typing, I appreciate you guys for being here. If you've not joined our Discord community, make sure you click the link above. I think I might not have it on Facebook, but I do have it on the YouTube. So make sure you click the link above and sign up for the Discord app and be a part of conversations after the show.
Let me just read this. I just did a search. Rift between president and vice president. Fears of growing rift between Biden and Harris. Inside Kamala Harris' frustrating start as vice president. Rift between Biden and Harris. Reports claim VP sidelined. All is not well at the White House. What is the reported rift between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris reports that Biden-Harris rift rock Democrats. I'm like,
that ain't telling me nothing though.
Right, it ain't. All I'm trying to tell you. The only point I'm trying to make to you is this. This is the point I'm trying to make to you. You have a public perception, a public narrative, and you have a private one.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Why are we hearing about a rift between the president and the vice president today?
Right. Being sidelined.
I can't tell you, brother. I didn't know they had a rift. I couldn't even tell you.
Interesting.
But I would definitely have to get some more information about it. I want to know myself. Anyway.
Yep. All right.
What I was trying to say was,
what you saying, brother?
Is that Biden needs a little bit more respect than what he getting. Even though he old and can't make across that stage without a gift, he's still the president of the United States. So
yes,
let that man speak sometime.
Let's see.
You said let him speak?
Mm-hmm.
Biden?
because he really was a slow. I ain't never seen nobody talk as slow as he do. As far as being up there in front of that podium, I mean, his words are very measured. Like he don't want to forget what the next word would be.
America, what we're going to do?
Yeah,
we be there for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's thinking about each word that's coming next. It's like, okay. But I mean, I felt when we said the hard conversations, I knew Trump was gonna come up.
Oh, indeed. That's where I went. First place I go.
That being that, and I knew our president was gonna come up. So is he gonna make it to round 2?
Yeah. That's okay. So that's the first question. Will he make it to round 2? Let me ask you guys this one. If there was a Republican candidate anywhere from mayor matter of fact, let's just say president, and he spoke in a way, he spoke your language, whatever that may be, whatever your agenda, whatever the first things on your list that you would like to see change. I'm gonna just throw this out there. If he mentioned reparations, not at a black church, like in a room full of mixed folk, general conversation, just like, I think it's time that we made what was wrong right. In some general manner, like me and Pastor looking at you, did this Negro just say reparations?
If he mentions reparations in a general debate,
and not trying to bring other people along with it, like somebody else did, we can't give it unless we give it to other. Like, really? Why our package always got to be with other people? Anyway, yes, if he mentioned it, like the African Americans, the slave ships, threw some dates in there. It was
if you got African American signs, if you got African American signs to your driver's license, if your driver's license say BLK on it, you're gonna get a check.
if you've been checking the African American box for the last 10 years, this is who I am.
You know what I'm saying? If your birth certificate say BLK black, you getting a check. You getting a check. Hey, Republican, Independent, Democrat. Yeah, you
would. What do you say? Audience,
I'm with Brian. I'm a capitalist too. If whatever you say, hey, my vote. You just paid for my vote.
You just paid for my vote.
I was ignorant a couple years ago. I was like, I didn't want the money. Y'all, I was mad. I was a rebel. This is how mad I was. They sent me a check. I don't want that check.
Shoot, I don't know why you was mad at. Are you mad at the money?
I ain't mad at the money.
Oh,
I'm mad at what it brings with it.
Right.
It brought me some relief on some bills. That's what it brought for my house. Right. It brought me. It ain't bring me no stress, no chaos, no drama. It brought nothing but
because you're a steward. You're a good steward.
Right.
But for far too many people like us, that's not what it is. It's a shopping spree.
Yeah.
And then you got to deal with the impact of that come the new tax season.
Mm. Yeah,
because it's vaporware. You can't stimulate the economy by handing out money when you don't have jobs to continue the trend.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't do it. You give me $100,000 and tell me to go on a shopping spree. Right. What if I take 10,000 of that 100,000 and put a down payment on a yacht?
Right.
And the monthly fee for the yacht, my payment for the yacht is $26,000 a month.
Right.
And I done spent the other $90,000, but now I don't have income to support a $26,000 yacht payment.
Right.
That's what stimulus packages do to people.
They can, yeah. I mean, I agree with. Listen, when we're in the crunch and there's a fix, like to me, that's the quickest fix. You know, when people are struggling, when people don't have, when people losing things at an alarming rate. I mean,
Yeah.
what other fix can mend it fast enough?
What means more to you if anybody out there working a 9 to 5? Getting that paycheck is great. You want to make all the money you can make.
Right.
But what's the real question? What kind of benefit package do you have?
Right.
Benefit package carries more weight than your paycheck.
Yep. Medicaid for all.
You disagree?
He said, no, I hear you. Package means everything. Package means everything. It means a lot. It means a lot, especially when a job.
I've had all the benefits, the 401k,
right,
medical insurance, dental insurance, Aflac. I mean, I had a whole bunch.
Right.
But I'm saying, if you pay me enough,
that too,
I could go and get my own, possibly shop, and may do it a little better.
Right.
I'm making pay a certain medical professional a monthly fee just to make sure I'm good.
True.
If you pay me enough, if I'm getting I get $85,000 a year, but a lot of that is going toward the Social Security, FICA, my premium for my insurance through my group insurance, all that. So technically, I'm really just getting maybe $50,000 because most of it going toward all that. But if I'm getting $100,000 a year, and it's all coming to me, I probably can do a little bit better, if not the same. It just depends on how much cash I'm making. Especially if
you're willing to exchange the benefit package to get the money back instead of paying into this benefits package. Just give me the money.
It like I said, depends on how much money. Now, if I'm working at a full-time job at CVS and I'm only making $30,000, I want the benefits. If I'm working at Chick-fil-A as a manager, and I'm only making $50,000, I want the benefits. But if I can make $125,000 on my own, self-employed, I want the $125,000. I'll find out where I can pay.
Now,
benefits.
Let me unpack what you just said.
Got a suitcase.
No, because you're telling people who you are. You're an entrepreneur. You don't want to work for nobody. So benefit package, I'll go ahead and make my money because you are a capitalist.
Yes.
Guess what? I'll guarantee you that if you go down your street, 10 houses to the right and 10 houses to the left, you're going to find the majority of the people that are going to be more concerned about that benefits package.
Right.
You have a unique perspective as an entrepreneur. Okay? That makes sense. But you are not the masses.
So what's your solution? Instead of the check, what's your solution?
Who?
I'm talking to Pastor. He's saying Go ahead. Looking at the benefits, looking at most Americans, looking at people that probably look at benefits more than they would a check. What would be your solution to fixing a problem like that? Instead of a check?
This is an observation.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the benefit package matters.
Right.
We were talking about stimulus packages.
Right.
And what I'm saying is you can't just hand somebody money and think that makes things better.
Right.
Because if you don't have, because too many people have irreparable habits.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean that the welfare system is what it is because of irreparable habits.
Yeah, but I think the money was an immediate band-aid for the bleeding that was going on. When folks go out of work, you got 30 days. Let's say you got 30 days. Most of the majority is living check to check. And if you live in check to check in 30 days, you's broke. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
And guess what? And if you live to check already, you need those benefits.
And I'm saying, but if those benefits are still getting paid by a job you don't have. How can I get these benefits if I ain't got no job no more? Me going to work allows me to get these benefits. If I ain't got no job, I can't get no benefits. Not only I can't get no benefits, I can't get no groceries. I can't pay no light bill. I can't put no.
But that was my point. That was my point in the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the check.
Right.
You were saying the check was hurting folks. I'm saying it was a Band-Aid for the period that they was in. That Band-Aid gave them another 30 days to survive, to figure something out. And when they got another check, that gave them another 30 days to survive and figure something out. But it wasn't gonna never be forever. It's just to get you through this rough period.
Or are you saying are you talking about reparations? The check is not good for reparations.
No, we're talking about the stimulus. That's what
I know. That's what I thought he was talking about, but he may not be talking about the stimulus.
No. I was talking about stimulus. I was talking about.
Yeah, you were talking about stimulus. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure we're on the same page. That's all. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying that gave you an opportunity to figure something out. Because when they cut that job off, that was immediate. There's nobody be like, hey, in the next 6 months, y'all ain't gonna have no employment, and this is what we're gonna do. No, tomorrow, March 16th, 2020, everybody must stay home and we'll let you know when you can leave.
Right.
No checks. They had to do something.
No, I'm with you. I agree with that. What I'm saying, listen, I'm grateful to God that He blessed me with the ability to work from home. So when COVID hit, my agenda didn't change. Right? My point is, don't throw stimulus packages out there if you're going to come back and collect it another way later.
Oh.
That's why I didn't want that.
I got you.
There's a penalty for that. There's a recompense for that benefits package, for that stimulus package. And the reality is the people who need it the most are the same people who can't afford to pay it back when you come back to get it. So have we won? What have we gained?
They gave a lot of tax breaks for everybody that received stimulus. It wasn't even counted against them. So if when they first gave them $4,400,
that's what I think too. Like, what's the alternative?
They gave a lot of tax breaks for that, and then they gave you incentives when you did do your taxes. If you didn't make money, they would give you more money when you did your taxes. Yeah. So it just depends on what bracket you was in financially. If you was at the poverty line or below, they was giving you more money. They're like, oh, well, we know your taxes is low. That's why everybody that had kids, they was giving them $3,600 a kid.
And people were literally walking off their jobs because they were making more money in stimulus packages and all this money that was floating around than they were making on the job. And then what happens when the stimulus packages dry up?
They went and got another job. A lot of people working place, they didn't want to work. They didn't want to be there. Huh? Most people that walked off their job they walked off. They walked off. They didn't want to work. They didn't want to be there. They were tired of it. And they needed a break. They needed a moment to breathe and find new employment. Because if unemployment is, where's unemployment at? It's low. That means folks are doing something. They're doing something. And most of it, because Sam knows, I mean, she has another view too, but Sam knows, like there's these apps where you can work 1 day, 2 days, maybe a week. And then, of course, we got all the Uber, Lyfts, and things of that nature. The stimulus package. Now, I get what you're saying. People walked off and they were just like, they just gonna wing it, try to figure it out. Let's see. That's right, but that's true too. It's not the stimulus package. It's the people, and some people just trying to do other things. That's why that's why these restaurants are struggling, because folks are doing other things. Like every app is like a plethora of those what I call day labor apps. Now I can work at a warehouse 1 day. I can work a week. I can work when I want and when I don't want to work. And a lot of people that's my benefit. I take the flexibility of working as opposed to being in this spot where I got this funky manager that's on my neck and I can't get off of my daughter's birthday. I'm keeping it real. And I hear you. We make an agreement because you decide, like you talked about before, you wanted to work here
for this amount of money.
Check. You know,
I don't want to work here for this amount of money.
right.
I want to go here and work just one day for $300, and I don't want to work tomorrow. And I'm gonna go work next Wednesday for $300.
Right, and this right here, folks were working 40 hours, coming in here, not hey, good morning, and not attending birthdays and anniversaries and everything, and barely surviving. Like, I'm not getting a trade-off. And granted, yes, it's my life. I made some decisions. I'm stuck in this $15 an hour job. Yes. But you know what? This stimulus is giving me an opportunity, has opened up a door for me to do exactly how I want to do it.
That worked for so many, man. That was a blessing in disguise, man.
Right.
You understand the number of people that are entrepreneurs today that have discovered something about themselves today.
Yes.
Because of COVID.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Is the crime rate higher now than it was before COVID?
That's a good question.
It is in certain areas. It is though.
Right?
That's a
Okay.
fact. That's a fact.
All right.
That's a fact.
How are the schools doing?
When they're not getting shot up, not too good.
Yeah. That's not.
That's still that individuals though. That you can't blame that on the stimulus package.
Yeah.
You can't
blame that on.
There's no ripple effect with violence and other projects and programs when you give. Okay.
You can blame that on COVID. That's what I'm saying, but you can't blame that on the stimulus package. Before COVID, how many people in America was walking around with a mask on every day? That gave a criminal his own disguise because it was mandatory. It was mandatory for you to wear a mask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That gave the criminal. Hey, it could be anybody now that you got.
So you think that crime is higher because of masked individuals?
No, it's not because of masked individuals. It's because everybody has a similar look. I'm a black man with a mask on. It could
is it that, or is it because people are? Is it because people are more desperate?
I don't think they're more desperate. I think it's the same. I just think they got more opportunities.
So desperation doesn't drive crime.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Hey, you know what drives?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, what desperation?
But I don't think it's from people. One, I don't think it's from people walking off jobs in the stimulus package. I think
look what Cheryl just typed. Look what Cheryl just typed. Ain't nothing free in this world. It's always going to cost you something.
Indeed.
Always. It's going to cost you something.
We can go on and on about this, but I will never say that. I mean, you give me if I was in office, like, what am I to do? Like, what I got in my hand? Like,
that's not my argument. That's not my argument.
They already.
I'm not telling you they were wrong. First of all, I didn't want anything Trump was putting out.
Right.
That was a personal thing for me.
I hear you.
That was personal. But I'm saying in the larger scheme of things, it does cost. It always costs.
Yeah,
because if you can't keep doing it, it's going to come back to bite you.
Right.
I've loaned people money more than once. And then they came back again and I said no. And it cost me the relationship because they got so dependent on me loaning them money.
But that's the person.
Yes. And we dealing with people.
And you're right. But now let me, even though you can't go back, just flip the scenario. If nobody ever got a stimulus, nobody ever got money, where that desperation gonna put you?
But that wasn't my argument. That was never my argument.
I didn't say that was your argument. I gave you another scenario. I didn't say that was your argument.
Okay.
But I agree. No, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you that something has to happen.
Right.
What I'm saying is I also have to recognize the outcome, the cost of it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't I'm not out here trying to say I got all the answers. When I said I didn't take that money, I was saying I didn't want any favors that I was going to have to pay back.
Right.
That was my thing.
I took it and I was waiting on the next one.
You watching the news like, oh yeah, they about to vote for another one.
Yeah, I was waiting on the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the difference, man, is You a steward. You did something with it. Everybody ain't thinking like that, Kaneem.
I didn't blow it. I didn't throw it out.
Right. I'm talking about the people I'm talking about the consequences of the people who don't think like you're thinking.
No doubt.
But if you look at it, check it out, bro. If you look at it, they were already in a position of suffering before they got it. You know what I'm saying? The folk. So when they got it, it gave them some help for a temporary amount of time. Right. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
If you look at somebody who already getting tariff or who already getting any help from the government,
right?
When they got them checks, they was happy about that, and they probably didn't know how to spend it or invest it or whatever. Right. But they kept their bills paid, kept food on the table, and kept them out of the streets. If I got money, I ain't got no reason to be desperate.
Right. Listen, I hear you, Sharon. Cheryl said, desperation, hopelessness, high rents, free payments, increased taxes, etc., will have impacts that validate where we are today. But
all I'm saying,
at the time, though, the house was burning, kid.
I got
the house was burning. We had to go get water from somewhere. We had to do something.
Yeah,
something had to be done.
That's why we have to have tough political conversations.
Right.
Because what I've learned when it comes to politics, I've learned they'll give you 4 years to buy 25.
Yeah.
Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. See, people with long-term vision.
Hey, I gotta get up
I suffer through this 5 years.
All right, Pat, Matt,
hey, y'all, we'll carry this on. But y'all have a
later.
Look at Sam, just keep going, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I
write a letter to the what is it? What is the financial Department of Finance, whatever it is, and tell them Samantha will spend your money.
Right. Right. I mean, there are. I mean, we do have. There are solutions and everything. Like you said, nothing is free. He said, I know what the point I wanted to make. He said, let's be honest, stimulus or no stimulus, the government is never going to save us or elevate us, but so much. Indeed. There is
all I'm saying.
Price to pay. It's always a price to pay, but I don't know. The crazy part is, why is it when we get, there's always a price to pay, but when corporations get, where's the price then?
Agenda.
Like there's no price to pay. It's like everything.
Even when the stimulus packages were coming out,
right?
They got theirs first.
Right.
We got 1,000. If you got 1,000, they got 1,000,000.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I personally feel like if you took percentage wise to individuals to businesses, they got way more. They affected them printing more dollars than we did. But yeah. All right, guys. So we've gone over time, which is fine. And I appreciate you guys for being with us and rocking with us. Make sure you join us in the Discord community. Click the link. Put what you think. Put your conversations up. I might even open up a voice chat. We can have a conversation there. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. As always, know that we love you. God loves you more. Continue to stay safe. And always do the right thing. Peace out. I don't even know what I made this time. There we go. Let's try this.